Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Long time no see. I decided, since I seen daily since the re-release of Anime Adventures to make some videos, and I made up my mind to make 4 videos in a row presenting you on how to play Anime Adventures because I think there are a lot of new players and they don't know how to begin, and I'm gonna show you where to begin in the next video, what to do next, and so until the 4th video. It will be split into 4 parts: the beginner, the intermediate, the pro, and the end game. Because even people who reach the end game don't know what to really do, so I'm gonna tell you there too. So without further ado, let's begin the video. First of all, I need to tell you, Anime Adventures is a merciless tower defense. So if you can play with a friend, do, because you'll need it. So let's begin with the units you need to acquire as a beginner. The first 2 units are pretty out of pocket, being Speedwagon and Bulma, being the only 2 farms in the game that are obtainable. Of course, there is Nami, which is a damage slash farm unit, but you cannot obtain her. So you need to farm. You need to get Speedwagon and Bulma because they are the only 2 farms, and obviously you need them. As you see here, it's preferable to get Bulma instead of Speedwagon because Bulma is the only one placement instead of 3. So you'll rather choose the one. So if you have Bulma, use her instead of Speedwagon. If not, use Speedwagon because it's almost the same thing, but it's much more of a hassle. Up to the next unit you should take. It's a mythic and it's Honey. She's a heal unit. In Anime Adventures, heal are not as good as the ground, but in Anime Adventures, once you reach Bleach, the Soul Society map, you'll need you'll meet flying units. And Honey not only is one of the best starter units, being so cheap, it also attacks in 1 second with some not so reasonable damage, but she's 5 placement. So as a beginner, she's a very good unit that can carry you to the story. If you want a damage unit that is ground, the best unit that came out of the re-release that's not an event unit is Grimjaw. You should take Grimjaw as a damager, and if you have any rerolls from codes, you should use it on Grimjaw because he's a very good unit with high damage, average speed attack, and a range quite good in my opinion. So you should keep your gems and summon for Grimjaw if you want a damage unit that is really new and good. Going next, as a beginner, you really need to have Commander and Wind Dragon. Why do you need these two? As I will show you shortly, it's because they can buff. One buffs physical, the other one buffs magic. And as a beginner, you cannot be a high damage as a pro player or an end game player, so you'll need to pivot towards a support player, which is reasonable for you. And having the Commander and Wind Dragon to do that for you, it's highly recommended if you want to have a chance in this game. Of course, there is another magic buff, being the only physical buff, and Wenda and Elfie, which is Lifa from Sword Art Online. She's also magic buff, but her catch is that you need to evolve her, and that's more of a next tier kind of player to do so. She's a much better magic buffer, but you should go with Wenda because you can get her and you don't need to evolve her, neither you need to evolve Orvin for the buffs. Another unit you need to have as a beginner is Griffith. And what's so special about Griffith, you'll need to target and have him the first unit you evolve basically as a beginner player, and that's more of an end game such of story such a situation. But you need to finish him because once you obtain these supports and you could evolve them and then sacrifice to Griffith. As you can see, the percentage, once the percentage reaches 100% or higher, Griffith will become a buffer that will buff the whole map with double damage. Basically, they will do double damage just because of Griffith. So you need to have him as a beginner if you want to have a chance to play with random players on Discord server to accept you, because Griffith is basically the best support unit in the game at the moment, due to that buff. Yeah. Another unit that you should have as a beginner and have to evolve quite fast is Trafalgar Law, or Operator as it's called in this game. His ability is Shambles, or Scramble if you want to talk about the copyright sake. It's Shambles. And what these Shambles do, as you can see, they are in range, they are moved back. And the thing with Law, the higher his range, the more back they will go. So yeah, you kind of need to evolve him too for people to accept you, because his Shambles is such a game changer and game saver that you kind of need him to survive. So you will need him as beginner. The next two units that you will need are Berserker, which is Guts, and Usopp. And the fact is, Guts is basically the best unit that you can obtain from the banner, due to the fact that he is a high damager unit, and he does bleed, which bleed stops the effects of healing and other stuff. There are basically a lot of support units that um, their support is basically bleed amplification and stunning units who possess bleed. So he's a high damage unit with a lot of support capabilities. And another unit that you'll need would be Capitan, which is also from One Piece. And his mechanic is very special, and I don't think there is another tower defense that does this, but if there is, tell me about it. Usopp, basically, you need to put him behind, and he will throw plants on the ground. And he's a high damage unit, so you need him because he's a boss killer. Basically, he will throw plants on the ground, and they deal the amount of damage that he shows. And once the enemies reach the plant, they will just walk into it and receive damage. So I intend, I'm telling you, get Usopp because he's a good unit that you will not very rarely, but you will use him quite a lot, in my opinion. The next unit you should get, and the last that I will tell you about it, is Oshi. And what Oshi does, let me show you. As you can see, the next upgrade on Guts is 2000, and if I put Oshi down, he's 1900. So basically what she does, she not only um, lowers the amount needed to upgrade a unit, she also buffs its damage a little. So you need to get her because she's a very good unit as a beginner, and when you're doing stories or infinite or whatever you want to do, she's a good unit as a beginner to have. So as a summary, on my left you have the units that you need to obtain, and on the right there are the units that you can obtain to get it better. And as a last tip of resolve, if you have any rerolls, please do use them on Grimjaw or Guts, because they are the best damage units that you could get from what I've shown. As one more tip, from the units that I presented you, the best and easiest to evolve are Honey and Grimjaw, because they don't need an item, they only need stars. And how to obtain stars, you need to do challenges. As you can see, it's Planet Greenery, which is Planet Namak, which is the easiest world, and you need to search carefully for these challenges that you can do. You can search on Discord or stuff like that. To evolve a unit, you need to come here where it says evolve, ironically, and you need to come behind here and use this. And I'm showing you right now what to do. Is you choose Grimjaw and you see what you need. They are very expensive, but unlike, let me show you a unit. Basically, let's choose Hex. You don't need a specific item like chalices, or let me show you Devil Ball. No, he cannot be evolved. I forgot. Like Fiend Girl, you need a specific item or a certain amount of items. They don't need that. They only need stars. So you could do challenges to evolve them, and it's hard, but not that hard as the others. And if you wanna craft an item, you come here and you choose basically craft, and you search here the item you need. Basically, we need idle mic for Orshi. You craft this, then you go at the evolving station, and let's choose idle. Let me show you, because I have two of them, and one of them is not evolved. And you could use. She's very cheap, and you could evolve her easily. But I encourage you to use them because their items are non-existent, and unlike gods or law, which are mandatory, their items are hard to obtain because they are basically at the last maps. For law, you need to do some portals, and for Gus too, as you can see, their maps are here, which is Snowy Kingdom, and you need to do infinites to obtain portals, and so is the Puppet Island, which obtains by law. To Forgalong. So what I'm telling you is, as a beginner, please try and play with friends, because this game is not easy unlike other tower defense. Anime Adventures is basically the harshest beginner based tower defense. It's merciful, and as a beginner, try and finish the story and go as deep as possible, playing with someone, and try and obtain these units if you can. And if you don't have gems, don't worry, there is an idea for that. So as a beginner, you go into quests and watch infinites, and you say, "Oh, I can obtain gems from here." The maps you will receive, they are basically in game. That's why I'm telling you, go as far as possible into the story, so that you can do as many infinites as you can, and you won't be able to finish all of them until the 50th wave, but you could go as far as start 25 with ease, with ease. And if you finish those, you could come at the infinity mansion. You can basically place area and come here, or there is a Muzan on the map, and you press here, and you can do the infinity castle, and you will do it on normal mode. Don't do it on hard as a beginner. You could do it on easy, and you receive 150 gems for every room you clear. And as a beginner, you could go 10, maybe 15 without any issue. So yeah, this was the beginner guide. Stay tuned for the intermediate guide, which will come maybe tomorrow of the or the day after. And I wish you good luck. Bye.